Hi everybody and welcome to Rose Sky Tarot. This reading is for Libra for the 14th of January 2019 and it's a general reading so may not suit everyone but hopefully there's a message here just for you. Enjoy! Okay, let's have a look at these top three cards and they've came from the bottom of the deck. I'm going to use them as an indicator of what the reading is going to be about. Now, are you holding back your emotions? Are you wanting to let the lion roar and let all of your opinions and your aggression and, your angry feelings out? But the opposition within you, the gentleness and, the patience and compassion is battling that. And you're trying to maintain a balance between them. You're trying not to go into full drama mode because your instincts have been telling you that there is something here that you don't want to let go of. And could it be that what your mind and your heart are telling you is to maybe back away a little bit? Take time away to let everything sink in. Give you time to think about everything that's happened, everything that you're feeling. And, to consider your next steps. So it could be that, you take a break from, whatever the situation is or whoever the person is. Just to give yourself a little bit of thinking time. Let's move these cards over to the side and have a look at the larger reading. Okay. Now we have the Queen of Swords in reverse, the Knight of Wands, and the King of Pentacles. Now, the facade energy of this card is that you're using manipulation and trickery to get something that you really want. But the deeper energy is that you've been so disappointed about something in the past, and maybe it's happened more than one occasion. And is there maybe a deep hurt there or a deep disappointment? And you're thinking that maybe, it's never going to happen for you. But because of that, it reflects on the image that other people see. Because if you go into a situation where you find something that you really want, that deep disappointment taints your actions and maybe makes you respond in a certain way that other people see as being deceptive. But in reality, what's happening is you're responding for something that you really want, but you're doing it in such a way that, it's you don't want to go through the disappointment again, is what it is. But there is something that has sparked your interest, that has grabbed at your heart, and is, enabling you to try again. But the thing is that, those disappointments in the past have tainted any new experiences, so that when you do see something that you really want, then you will pretty much do whatever you can to get that into your life. You'll stop at nothing until, you achieve whatever this goal is. And people really do see you as being, deceptive, and moving on to the King of Pentacles, very manipulative and exploitative, possibly as well. You use any means to get what you want. And those three cards here have pretty much similar meanings. And the aim is that, you have locked your eyes onto something that you want, and you'll go to any lengths to get it. And you're very possessive about it. You're very jealous of, other people spending time with this person. And that just fans the fire of, the vulnerability of the disappointments of the past, and your behaviour then seems to escalate. Now, let's move on to the next three cards, and we have the Page of Pentacles, the Eight of Wands in reverse, and the Sun in reverse. Now, this person is someone that you really want to have in your life. And, you want them in a real way, not just as a friend. You want them to be more than that. You want them to be, a practical, everyday living part of your reality. But is it possible, because of the vulnerabilities and disappointments, that you don't really fully understand the implications of what it is that you want? And that can be something that, and moving on to the Eight of Wands in reverse, causes chaos. Because for some of you, that intense feeling of wanting this person in your life every day is maybe not reciprocated. And it again plunges you into chaos. And you're confused because, that there seemed to be this intense feeling, and you got to the stage where you wanted the person totally into your life. But could that have been maybe a little bit of self-deception? and that just opens up all the old wounds again, because, you feel that you're battling against a negative current. You're confused about, the kickback of having, the reality of this person in your life, or the reality of not having this person in your life. And that can be very frustrating, because yet again you're delving back into the area of disappointment. And this has really hurt your sensibilities, because it's hitting right off of your ego. Because how dare that person not want you? And it sets off all the negative parts of your emotions. So this experience has triggered you in an extremely negative way. And it's sapped you of all of your happiness, put you back into feeling quite low, and maybe even a deeper depression. And you feel quite burnt out, exhausted by the whole experience, exhausted by life. Now let's go down to the next set of cards, and we have the Knight of Swords, the Fool, and the Ace of Pentacles. Now, this fanatical behaviour, this behaviour that has began to move into the extremes, was because you felt you were doing the right thing. You felt that there was something there. And that's why you moved heaven and earth to give it an opportunity to be real in your life. And you were motivated to give this a chance, despite all the disappointments that you felt before, because it felt right. But you didn't really think everything through. You didn't consider that maybe this person wanted something that was more casual rather than realistic. Did you maybe jump in, wholeheartedly, and made people aware that, you were taking that leap of faith on this person? And you ran into their arms, basically, wholeheartedly, thinking how wonderful this would be in reality. And it's not something that you thought about. You just used your instincts to say let's go, because you wanted this beginning with this person. Because this person offered you the path to a very bright future. Comfort, love, pleasure, creating a life together, and whatever resources that you had could be pulled together to make life very pleasurable. Now let's move on to the next set of cards, and we have the World in reverse, Two of Swords, and Death in reverse. Now, the chaos that ensued after, all of these feelings were relayed, this rejection that happened when you informed, or this person realised, that you wanted them permanently in your life. It's another occasion where you've unfortunately deceived yourself that this person liked you. And it's turned into yet another experience of having this false start, having this disappointment. And, you put yourself in a place then where you just maybe don't want to try again. That you don't know if you want to give people the opportunity to be in your life in a real way. Because your head and your heart are not wanting you to make the decision because of the damage that's been done. It could be that your head is saying, let's try again, and your heart may be saying no, or it could be vice versa. And it could be that, that there is something within you that is maybe not wanting to let this connection go. That you're battling with yourself because you haven't had the closure for this person. So you may be battling yourself about whether or not this person actually likes you. Was this a real connection? Because you don't seem to know. It's as if you didn't have the closure that usually comes. And that just adds on to the pile of vulnerability and disappointment that you feel, the insecurity. And you really do feel, and moving on to Death in reverse, that, there is not going to be an opportunity for this relationship. You feel that you've lost hope, that you're feeling burnt out. Is there any point in holding on? Let's bring these other cards back in. Now we had the Strength card, the Ten of Swords in reverse, and the Four of Swords. Now you really are trying to hold on to all of these emotions and hold yourself back from, turning into a telenovela. And there is so much hurt here that you just want to roar and fight and be aggressive. But there is also a part within you that feels the heart connection, that wants to be patient with this person, that can maybe understand why things happened the way they did. And because of that, have you moved away from the situation? Have you gave yourself time out? A chance to recover from all of this hurt and drama? Give yourself time to think about what you want, what you need, and how to get there. Because sometimes that little bit of space to get your head right makes all of the difference. Okay. There was quite a lot in this reading. A lot of vulnerability, a lot of hurt, a lot of maybe misunderstandings, and a lot of things not really resolved and giving up hope. But the thing is that you do have this lightness within you. You do have this, instinct for going out for an adventure and diving in feet first and reveling in the freedom and the experience, because you do feel that it would give you a path to, the wonderful future that, you would love to have in your life. Okay, I hope that some of the topics that we've discussed in this reading, has maybe answered or highlighted a different way of looking a question that you've had. And I hope it's been helpful. And if this hasn't reflected the things going on in your life today, then maybe the message within this is maybe just one or two cards. And please be aware that this is a general reading and that maybe for this message, this maybe isn't reflecting something that you need to know. Now, I hope you have a good week and I'll see you next time. Bye.